Hi, can you think of a time when you felt truly safe with someone? Maybe it was a childhood friend, a loving family member, or a partner? And do you remember that feeling of being completely accepted, knowing you could share anything without judgment, and trusting that they had your best interest at heart? That feeling, that sense of safety and trust, is more vital to our mental and emotional health than we often realize. Now, contrast that with a time when you felt the opposite. Perhaps you experienced a betrayal, a broken confidence, or a situation where you felt vulnerable and exposed. And do you remember the knot in your stomach? The racing thoughts, the feeling of being constantly on guard? That's the impact of a lack of safety and trust. This week, we're going to delve into the profound importance of safety and trust in our relationships and how they act as an anchor for our mental well being. We'll explore what these concepts truly mean for you, how they manifest in healthy and unhealthy ways, and even touch upon what astrology can tell us about our inherent tendencies in this area. We'll also look at some practical steps you can take to cultivate more safety and trust in your own life. So let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to Mental Health and Astrology, where different worlds connect. My name is Sander de Bob, therapist and astrologer for over 2 decades now, and it's wonderful to see you here on this channel. Each week, we explore how self awareness can help you navigate life's challenges, build stronger connections, and nurture your mental well being. In our personal transformation videos, we delve into all aspects of mental health, including a dedicated chapter that investigates the connection with astrology. You don't need any prior knowledge of astrology. I will explain it in simple words and combine it with relatable, real life examples about mental health that you might recognize in your own life. In our visual storytelling videos, we will dive a bit deeper into astrology. Exercises are available in both theories. This week, we're focusing on the importance of safety and trust in relationships. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and let's explore a healthy mindset together. At its core, safety in a relationship means feeling emotionally and sometimes physically secure with another person. It's knowing that you can be your authentic self without fear of judgment, ridicule, or harm. It's the freedom to express your thoughts and feelings, even the messy ones, without the constant worry of rejection or betrayal. Trust, on the other hand, is the confident expectation that the other person will be reliable, honest, and have your best interest at heart. It's believing in their integrity and feeling secure in their commitment to the relationship. When we truly trust someone, we can relax, let down our guard, and allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Think about the impact on your mental health when these elements are present. When you feel safe and trust someone, it creates a sense of calm and security within you. It allows you to focus your energy on growth, creativity, and connection rather than being constantly cautious and defensive. It raises a sense of belonging and reduces feelings of isolation and loneliness, which are significant contributors to anxiety and depression. I remember a client, she was a talented artist in her late 30s, who came to me feeling overwhelmed by anxiety and a deep sense of loneliness. She was very creative, but she struggled to form lasting connections with others. And as we talked, it became clear that past experience of being let down and being criticized in her early relationships had created a deep seated fear of vulnerability. And now she was constantly in fear, afraid of being hurt again. And this lack of trust was like a constant undercurrent, fueling her anxiety and isolating her from the very connection she craved. The lack of trust stemmed from years of feeling criticized and misunderstood. Every time she tried to open up in a new relationship, those old wounds would resurface, making her hesitant and guarded. This created a self fulfilling prophecy. Her guardedness made it difficult to form deep connections, further reinforcing her belief that she couldn't trust anyone. It was a vicious cycle impacting her self esteem and overall happiness. Let's take a look at 5 examples of how safety and trust manifested in a balanced way and what happens when these expressions become imbalanced. Open and honest communication. In a safe and trusting relationship, you feel comfortable expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs openly and honestly, knowing you will be heard and respected even if there are disagreements. When this communication is imbalanced, it can turn into oversharing without boundaries, or conversely, complete silence and avoidance of difficult situations and conversations due to fear of conflict or judgment. Vulnerability without fear. This means that you feel secure enough to show your true self, including your imperfections and vulnerabilities, without the fear of being judged, shamed, or rejected. When you are afraid of this vulnerability, it can manifest as showing overly vulnerable, possibly very early in a relationship, which potentially can lead to feeling exposed and hurt, or a complete inability to be vulnerable at all, leading to superficial connections. Reliability and consistency. Actions need to align with words. You can count on the other person to follow through on their commitments and be there for you when needed, building a sense of predictability and security. When this is out of balance, it can lead to rigid expectations and control, or on the other side, complete unreliability and broken promises, leading to feelings of instability or betrayal. Mutual respect for boundaries. Both individuals understand and respect each other's personal boundaries, whether they are physical, emotional, or mental. There's a sense of autonomy and personal space within the connection. And an imbalance here can lead to a complete lack of boundaries, resulting in sacrificing yourself and a loss of your own individuality, or overly rigid and inflexible boundaries that prevent any form of intimacy and closeness. Empathy and understanding. There is a genuine effort to understand each other's perspectives and feelings, even if you don't agree. You feel seen, heard, and validated in your experiences. Imbalanced, this can turn into taking on others' emotions to an unhealthy degree, leading to burnout or a complete lack of empathy, invalidating or ignoring the other person's feelings. When these aspects of safety and trust are imbalanced, it can lead to increased stress, anxiety, feelings of insecurity, difficulty in forming deep connections, and even impact your physical life. Constant worry about being hurt or let down takes a significant toll on your mental and emotional well being. Conversely, when we cultivate balanced expressions of safety and trust in our relationships, we experience greater joy, resilience, and overall well being. We feel supported, understood, and empowered to navigate life's challenges. Think about your own relationships. Where do you see these balanced expressions? And where might there be some imbalances? It takes courage to be honest with yourself, but this self awareness is the first step towards adopting healthier connections. Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. I always appreciate hearing from you. Now, let's bring in the fascinating world of astrology and see what insights it can offer us regarding safety and trust in relationships. Remember, astrology provides a unique lens through which we can understand our inherent tendencies and potential challenges. Let's use some planets we already discussed in previous episodes. When we talk about relationships in astrology, the planet Venus often comes to mind. Venus represents how we relate to others, our values in relationships, what we find attractive, and how we express affection. It governs harmony, connection, and our desire for love and companionship. Another key player is the moon. The moon represents our emotional world, our inner needs, and how we see comfort and security. It reflects our deepest feelings and our instinctive reactions, specifically in our close relationships. Let's consider how Venus might influence our approach to safety and trust based on the sign it's in. For example, if someone has Venus in Taurus, they might prioritize stability and reliability in relationships. They feel safe when things are consistent and predictable. Trust is built through tangible actions and solid loyalty. On the other hand, someone with Venus in Gemini might prioritize open communication and intellectual connection as the foundation of safety and trust. They feel secure when they can freely share their thoughts and ideas and feel understood, which is a totally different approach to safety and trust. Now, let's look at the moon. Consider someone with their moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign known for its intensity and depth. This individual might have a deep need for absolute honesty and loyalty in their friendships. Betrayal of trust can be profoundly painful for them, and it might take time to rebuild that trust once broken. This can sometimes lead to a tendency to test others to ensure their loyalty. This can be a challenging placement, highlighting the need for deep self awareness and healthy communication in relationships. Conversely, someone with their moon in Sagittarius might feel safe when they have a sense of freedom and independence in their relationships. Trust is built through honesty and a shared sense of adventure. These are just general examples, and your individual natal chart is a complex mix of planetary placements and aspects. However, understanding the basic energies of Venus and the Moon in your chart can offer significant insights into your own needs and tendencies regarding safety and trust in your relationships. If you're curious to explore this further, I encourage you to check out the visual storytelling video that is uploaded every Friday. There, we will dive deeper into the astrological aspects. So, how does this all fit into the bigger picture of your mental and emotional health? The ability to form and maintain relationships built on safety and trust is fundamental to your overall well being. When we feel safe and trust those around us, it creates a buffer against stress, anxiety, and depression. It allows us to feel connected, supported, and feel less alone in the world. Think about it. When you have someone you really trust, then you have a safe space to process your emotions, share your worries, and celebrate your joys. This shared experience strengthens your bond and contributes to a greater sense of purpose and belonging. Here are a few key takeaways. Prioritize open and honest communication. This is the cornerstone of building trust and safety. Without a solid foundation, you're not going anywhere. Be mindful of your own actions. Your words and deeds have a significant impact on how safe and trusted others feel around you. Learn to recognize red flags. Pay attention to patterns of behavior that erode trust and compromise your sense of safety. It's okay to set boundaries. Protecting your emotional and mental well being is essential, and boundaries help define what feels safe for you. Don't overdo it though. A lot of people find it difficult to open up again after a breakup. It's until they meet someone who consistently shows them kindness, understanding, and unwavering support that they slowly begin to feel safe enough to be vulnerable again. A new relationship or friendship built on a foundation of trust can become a catalyst for their own healing and growth and show them that it's possible to feel safe and loved again. Ultimately, cultivating safety and trust in your relationships is an ongoing process. It requires vulnerability, empathy, and a willingness to show up authentically. But the rewards for your mental and emotional well being are immeasurable. Okay, it's time for our first exercise this week to help you connect with the energy of safety and trust in your own life. I call this the circle of trust reflection. First, find a quiet space and sit or lie down in a place where you are comfortable and where you won't be disturbed for the next few minutes. Take a few deep breaths to relax your body and mind. Visualize your inner circle. Close your eyes and bring to mind the people in your life with whom you feel the most safe and trusting. These could be family members, friends, partners, or even pets. Picture them in your mind's eye one by one. Reflect on the feeling. As you visualize each person, notice the feelings that arise within you. What does it feel like to be around them? What specific qualities or actions make you feel safe and trusting in their presence? Maybe it's their listening ear, their consistent support, their honest feedback, or simply their unwavering presence. Identify one key quality. For each person in your inner circle, try to identify one key quality or behavior that contributes most to your sense of safety and trust with them. Consider areas for growth. Now, think about a relationship in your life where you might feel a lack of safety or trust. And as we said before, without judgment, just reflect on what might be contributing to this feeling. Is it something the other person is doing? Or are there past experiences or your own insecurities that play a role? What can you do yourself? How can you improve your own situation in feeling safe and trusting others without asking others to change their habits, which is always possible to ask, but people don't necessarily change the way you want. So, can you change your view? Can you change the way you handle safety and trust? Can you change the circumstances you're in? Finally, bring your attention back to your breath and set an intention for the week ahead. This attention could be to express more appreciation to those you trust, to take a small step towards rebuilding trust in a challenging relationship, or to be more mindful of how you build trust with others. This simple reflection can help you to become more aware of the dynamics of safety and trust in your relationships and empower you to nurture those connections that support your mental well being. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the power of our mind with this week the importance of safety and trust in relationships and its way of creating a strong foundation for emotional well being. We've seen how vital feeling safe and trusting is for our mental health, explored balanced and imbalanced expressions, touched upon the astrological influences of Venus and the moon, and we practiced a reflection to connect with these energies. Whether we're exploring the depth of mental health or diving into the energy from planets, my goal is to help you feel more connected, understood, and empowered in your daily life. If today's message resonated with you, then share your thoughts of this video by leaving a comment. And if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Press that subscribe button, ring the notification bell to relieve some pressure, and you will never miss insights about mental health again. Together, we can navigate our lives and the challenges of it with clarity and compassion. Next week, we will discuss beliefs and breaking limiting beliefs, so be sure to tune in again. See you next week for a new episode, and please remember, astrology is a wonderful guide, but it's your own choice that shapes your path. Take care of your heart and mind, stay healthy, and in the meantime, check this video about being best friends with yourself, where safety and trust is fundamental for a healthy connection with yourself. See you there in a second.